What is a useless skill that you have? I can always find the most in the way place near anyone who is busy. Competitive minesweeper. Was 15th in the world at one point. I can send and receive Morse code at 65+ words per minute. Completely pointless skill. I've worked in a deli most of my life. I can weigh things in grams eerily accurately with just my hands. Some customers get pretty kind blown. I can play a blade of grass. Also, I can smell ants. Apparently it's like a genetic thing. They kind of smell like an earthy sulfur. They smell awful. I hate them. Edit. OMG, the upvotes and awards. Thank you LMAO, loudly crying. I wish I could respond to every comment. You guys are fucking hilarious. To answer some questions. It's usually always the small and big black ants that infestate houses. I can usually smell the smell like a few days before they start showing up. Like I said, they smell awful and earthy. Very musty too. But it's such a distinct and unique smell, I really can't describe it better than that. Maybe add bitter. 2. I hate bug guts, so I don't usually squash them, but if they do get squashed, I'm not actually sure if the smell gets stronger. In a weird way, I almost want to say it makes them smell less. But that's not something I've ever thought about before, so I don't really know lol. I found this out BC. I felt crazy that no one else in my house could smell it and that I always smelled it every time the ants came. So I actually googled, can humans smell ants? And to my surprise it says some people actually can. But it is absolutely hilarious that two groups of people replying. One is like, wait, other people can smell ants? I thought it was just me, and the other group is, wait, people can smell ants? That's a thing? I am glad I could teach you all something. However ridiculously dumb it may be, loudly crying. Another edit. People have brought up some great points that it could be pheromones. I've seen the ant death march thing when you mess up their pheromones, so I know it's important to them. So I'm gonna look into that. I can pronounce the Welsh town of Llanfairpwll Gwyngyth Gagarethwyndrabathlin Tasilia go coherently and without hesitation. I'm extraordinarily good at towel whipping. Made someone bleed once. I can put on an undershirt backwards almost 100% of the time on the first try without wanting to. I'm good at learning a little about a lot of things. My knowledge is a vast ocean. But it's very shallow. I can wiggle my ears. I can induce a panic attack just by thinking. Twirling, flipping, and spinning writing utensils. Like, really intricate shit. Effortlessly. A skill built up with hours and hours of fidgeting. Seems to impress a lot of people. Apparently. Gets plenty of compliments. Identifying cars make, model by their headlights at night. Edit. Taillights too. I can shoot my saliva from under my tongue. I can correctly predict what time it is without ever looking at a clock. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, it's only 3 AM, and then I look at a clock and I'm right. I can identify faces very easily even with age. People I've seen once in a film 40 years ago I'll see again in something current and say, oh, that's the guy who played the third terrorist in that film from 1980. It's bizarre. I can touch the tip of my nose with the tip of my tongue. I can bend my pinky down to my palm without all my other fingers coming with it. In the dark I can hear when I'm close to a door or wall. Everything sounds a little different when it's bouncing off a large surface. It only helps with walls, doorways. Coffee tables are my kryptonite, tears of joy. I know a lot of random things about animals. Both extinct and living. It's not a useless skill. It's actually quite useful. But most people would likely consider it useless because it isn't gonna give me any kind of come up in life, and it's definitely not gonna make me money. I'm oddly good at entangling things. Cords. Necklace chains. String, thread. Even fishing line. To the point that everyone who's witnessed me do it has mentioned how quickly I can get things that seem done for. Untangled, like they are at least mildly impressed. It's like a puzzle and I can get most everything untangled in a pretty short amount of time. Relative to the tangled item. I can bite the sides of my mouth and worsen mouth wounds. I can do a wave with my eyebrows. I can lick elbows. I'm really good at mimicking other people's voices. I guess it's not a completely useless skill. Though, I have conducted some epic prank calls on family, friends. Ability to sneeze with 118 decibels measured. 120 is already threshold of pain as an interesting fact. I can correctly identify every country flag in the world. I can yodel really well. I can make friends with any stray dog. In my town there's a huge stray population. And I've made friends with most of them over time. They all respond to the names I've given them. I've taught a few commands like sit, come, wait and other useful tricks for walking together. Every weekend I go on a hike with my dog at the local park, and as we walk there all the strays that we meet just join the group. Some days I'll be hiking with 3 to 4 dogs that aren't even mine. And we all have a blast. They'll escort us home at the end of the walk and then just go about their business. Taming strays is very useless. But my favorite thing ever. I do a really good impression of Teddy from Bob's Burgers. I can twist my neck horizontally so far that it cuts of my airflow. I can moderately dislocate my jaw, and I also have one double-jointed thumb. Maybe I'd make a good zombie extra IDFK. And in every case it's pretty much a less extreme version of what you're imagining. A bit late. But I can procrastinate any task until that last possible minute. Edit. And now, in a Pavlovian situation, I've been rewarded for my laziness. Thank you for the gold and silver, kind strangers. But you've just reinforced the issue. The helicopter. Stare at a screen for hours with no productivity. If I can hear a sound more than once or twice, I can tell you what made it. Often specifically. But if not, I could tell you its composition and structure. I used to be a drummer, where this kind of talent was useful. I can give myself oral and lick my own balls. No reward. Only back pain. I can tell many useless cat facts. Edit 1. Please read through the replies to see many cat facts from me. Since I commented a lot. I can vibrate my eyes back and forth. I can open my ears from the inside when it closes during airplane takeoff or such other pressure change situations. I can always find my way back to the place I went to once. Also, I never get lost and can always find the correct route because my brain scans and memorizes the locations I go through. But no one listens to me in terms of directions anyway. And we have GPS on our phones. I know the Gettysburg Address, preamble to the US Constitution, and the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. I'm still waiting for some random person to ask me to recite these. I can write with both hands at the same time. I am trying to learn how to write in German in one hand, English in another. Edit. Whoa, I forgot to mention that I can write upside down with my left hand, while writing right side up with me right hand. And I can also write a mirror copy of what my right hand is writing with my left hand. Being ambi has some serious pros. I can pop my big toes at will as many times as I wish. Overthinking friendly normal interactions with new people until I think they definitely hate me and everything is awful. I can read sentences backwards. I can open a wine bottle without a corkscrew. I smash the top against a hard object, and it breaks off cleanly. No wine is spilled. And there is no glass in the wine. I've always been able to do this. It's one of my minor superpowers. Every time I switch lanes, it becomes the slowest. I can use my own boobs as pillows. Also hide almost anything in my bra. I can dilatate my pupils, and the effect is that it increases my myopia while I do that. I'm good with tones and voices. So when a celebrity does a voiceover or radio commercial, I recognize the voice correctly and quickly. I have freaked out some family and friends. I have the ability to assess a situation and immediately know the worst possible outcome. I can do Spock and anti-Spock gestures with both hands, and quickly alternate between them. I can both smell and sense when electrical outlets are about to go bad. I can make my dick pop like cracking a knuckle. I can come up with extremely intricate world building and character concepts, with entire plotlines to go with them. Now, this could be a very useful skill. Except that I have no drive to do anything. So that ability gets thoroughly wasted by my own incompetence. I can squirt milk, watered down juice, or water through the duct in my eye if I inhale the drink through my nose. I have a long tongue. That's about it. Juggling. You could give me hyper-detailed instructions about how to do anything, I will still mess it up. It is within my blood to fuck something up at some point during the process. When I drop something like a screw or a coin, I am able to visualize based on its trajectory and the sounds it makes where it will end up and find it in moments. Basically, I can echolocate dropped objects. I can start a story and end it, but nothing else in between. I know how to make a small explosion. Yes, it says useless, but the lawman. I can play any song on my instrument after hearing it 2 to 3 times. I can make electronics work if they're malfunctioning. My kids say it's my superpower. I scare electronics into working again. I can also finish word searches in seconds, pattern recognition, and I can recall the complete lyrics, plus the artist and song, of a lot of random songs. This comes in handy for trivia. Plus all of the other stupid random useless shit I retain. Which does nothing for my existence except being frequently invited for aforementioned trivia games. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.